For those times we had, nostalgia. They like, wow, bruh, this world ain't what it used to be. Nostalgia. I'm bowing out, bruh. Take me back to how it used to be. Nostalgia. Uh, yeah. I just want to take you on a journey with me as we sit back, unwind, rewind time, and open up the door to the past and hope that it can help us in the future. You gotta know where you've been and know where you're going, right? Cheer. So vintage, so authentic. Eyes are the windows to the soul, but they so tinted. I left religion for my culture and became a villain. But I'm speaking up for my people, I ain't never timid. Running back like Emmett, I'ma give you the real. Thought I was talking about Dallas, no, it's Emmett Till. Yo, this is not for entertainment, it's deeper than that. I'm putting lyrics to a beat, but it's deeper than rap. My people sleeping in fact. Let me switch gears for a minute. Yo, this land ain't my home, I'm just here as a tenant. So when I say of Israel, it's literal. Haters gonna hate how much attention I get at those. It's minimal. Black men bring fear to them. They don't know what to do with them. They call us animals. Well, I'll be Dr. Doolittle. Something different, but nothing too difficult. Life is like a sitcom, and we all got some different strokes. It's different levels to being woke. Extra, extra, read all about it. It ain't about who speaks truth, but who speaks the loudest. So the media stay shouting. So those who exposing the real will stay shrouded. This is how an oppressor do you. Tell you about being slaves, but won't tell you about Mansa Musa. But we gon' take it back to this though. When brothers wasn't always trying to ball like disco. So on this note, welcome to nostalgia. Now bring it back, it's all repetition. Stand your ground, what's the definition? I seen brothers with no pot to piss in. I seen others tie their whole life before another got no lot to pitch in. Something missing, this is pseudo-religion. Tell me, what's the purpose? Do what thou wilt, they amplifying the curses. People dying in sin, multiplying the hearses. Have you not read? There's no denying the verses. Don't believe like I used to, don't believe what I used to. Not chasing the Jews do, nor views on the YouTube. Fame could be a chain that can hang you like what a noose do. Found the truth like Blue's Clues and tried to spread the news too. Bring it to the churches, I tell you, that's a lose-lose. Looks like I'm talking to myself like a Bluetooth. Try to show my balance, but they tipped the scale. So I took it to brothers moving that weight like Bruce. And I gave them the deuce. I don't respect them cause they got labeled the who's who. I'm not a fan of titles or labels, I'm new school, is what they call me. Is it true? Hardly. Young dude, oh so old game Atari. On that Pan-African tip, I'm more Garvey. If you got a problem with that, I'm not sorry. Just another episode. The return is gonna be epic, yo. Welcome to nostalgia. Welcome to nostalgia.
Man, no, man. Yahweh. Where you get that name from? Man, his name is a hype.
What about Yahweh? I don't know a lot of people use Yahweh.
Man, come on. Always arguing about the name, man. He got all kind of names. What I was told him. He got
Because listen, Israel knew his name, and what did it do for them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Can you believe
About that, man.
man?
I just want to serve him in spirit and truth, man. So whatever his name is, man, I'm gonna serve him.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. You can't put the Most High's name in a box. Period. You just can't live.
I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will will, don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
Roll in and get dropped off. This where the culture pops off. He's so elite, called Texas Pete. This what we call that hot sauce. Forsake me not, remember me. Your love like drugs, I'm high up. That's glory and all line up. My cup runneth over, it's topped off. Abba. What? Better than zeros and commas. What? Father. Heaven on earth, you the author. Sinners, better stop it. When the floor get hot, that's lava. Nah. You don't really want that drama. That's so cute, y'all psyched up. Scream and dance, get hyped up. Just when you think you got the link, your plans all screwed and chopped up. No prophecy is like a key to the God we shock and all up. When it all builds up and believe you see he's gone.
I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will, don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
I cannot put him in a box. Yeah, you better fall in line. That's where delivery stops. Yeah, fight over packs like mine. What you selling, I cannot shop. Yeah, he the real thing, no discount. How you put the toppers in the wristwatch? He gon' make it dance sideline like a mascot. How you put the bounds on the balance, astounding. The circle of thought removed from surroundings, keeping the base everlasting, the bounding. Trying to catch wind, your box in the spirit. When I call wind of error, I repented. I'ma never stand in the box, hand over here, leg over there. You twisted the dimension. I'ma say the same with fight. Higher. I'ma hug my brothers and sisters on you. Who up? Father magnify our hearts, yeah. Zoom in. I'm trying to tell them all, you know what you're doing. Gotta get steps together in the spirit. It ain't a wall that we won't be clearing. Y'all had my back against the wall. I had such a claustrophobia. I'm not ashamed to love all of y'all.
I'm gonna say his name.
Yeah.
Yahuwah.
What?
I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will, don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's so merciful. We gon' slowly take this higher, going higher than crescendo. Time is getting shorter and it's closing like a window. Shout out to my melanated Israelite people. But we gotta repent, we can't be out here acting single. Who would have thought our Father in heaven be holding the fort? Don't play with Yahusha, cause he coming back with the sword. He's got so many names, you can put him in a box. He's the highest, and he got it. I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will, don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
What I love about this assembly is that they don't put the Most High in a box.
No, sir.
You know, a lot of people, they limit him. Some say Yahuwah, some say Yahweh, some say God. But his characteristic, he's everything. He's omnipotent. He's omniscient. How can you put something like that in a box?
Risk of a larger banking crisis. Do the markets give us any clue as to whether we're at the risk of a larger banking crisis?
Well, there certainly seems to be that risk out there, right, Jake? And I think the reality is we just simply don't know. The big banks for sure are well capitalized, but take a look at some of the regional banks, some of the smaller, medium-sized banks. And Jake, you can see a real sort of jitteriness among investors. I mean, First Republic closing down about 62%. Zions, we just lost it there, but PacWest, 21%. Jake, you know, these are not movements that we tend to see in stocks. These are really dramatic falls. And so the concern with some of these regional banks is that they could perhaps be facing some of the same risk factors that ultimately brought down SVB in terms of sitting on customer deposits that aren't fully insured by the FDIC, and also the interest rate risk that we know was at the heart of SVB's failure. Now, at the same time, Jake, I want to point your attention to the broader markets. The Nasdaq actually closed up. The S&P was up about 5 minutes before we closed and closed lower fractionally. And the reason why is because all of this news that we're getting about the fragility perhaps of the banking market, making some investors feel like, well, maybe this will help the Fed cool it on the rate hikes. And we hear from the Fed next week. So a lot more to come there, Jake.
All right, interesting. Rahel Solomon, thanks so much. President Biden said that customers and small businesses who had money in those two banks should be able to access their money today. But he also said investors in those two banks will not be protected. They will likely lose their money. President Biden also blamed this banking crisis on a move by his predecessor, Donald Trump, to loosen requirements of those banks. We asked CNN's Phil Mattingly to bring us the facts on all of this.
The bottom line is this: Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe.
President Biden seeking to reassure a nation on edge.
During the Obama-Biden administration, we put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank.
He also placed blame on his predecessor for contributing to this moment.
Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements.
Biden pointing to a 2018 law that eased some of the strictest post-financial crisis restrictions on mid-sized lenders like Silicon Valley Bank.
I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again.
Biden's new regulatory push framing a new crisis moment.
Treasury Secretary Yellen and a team of banking regulators have taken action.
Just hours after the administration's top finance officials triggered a dramatic show of dual-pronged government force. The action designed to halt financial contagion that threatened to rip through the banking system after the failure of Silicon Valley Bank. The bank's failure on Friday risking a cascade of events that threatened financial stability, with a second bank failure Sunday and several more institutions on the brink, officials said.
When we learned of the problems of the banks and the impact they could have on jobs of small businesses and banking system overall, I instructed my team to act quickly to protect these interests.
93% of Silicon Valley Bank's deposits sat above the $250,000 deposit insurance limit.
I've been working all weekend with our banking regulators to design appropriate policies to address this situation,
leaving thousands of small businesses and individuals at risk.
I instructed my team to act quickly to protect these interests. They've done that.
But the speed of the crisis and the potential systemic effects marking a jarring turn for an industry viewed as stable and well capitalized.
There are important questions of how these banks got into the circumstance in the first place. We must get the full accounting of what happened and why those responsible can be held accountable.
And setting the stage for an equally unpredictable political fallout in the days ahead, as officials move quickly to try and separate their actions from the politically toxic bailouts of the 2008 financial crisis.
No losses will be, and this is an important point, no losses will be borne by the taxpayers.
And Jake, Rahel was pointing to those regional banks and what's happened to them in the equity markets. They're not the only ones that are watching those banks right now. The White House, the Treasury Department, also paying very close attention to mid-sized and small lenders, trying to ensure that there is no contagion. One thing to pay attention to, though, when you talk to officials, they make clear, yes, they see what's happening in the stock market, but there's also the issue of liquidity. They believe that these banks have had access to liquidity in large part, because of the efforts over the weekend. They believe that is a positive sign, but still, obviously, a bumpy road ahead, Jay.
All right, Phil Mattingly at the White House for us. Thanks so much. Let's bring in Mark Zandi, the chief economist of Moody's Analytics. Mark, you just heard President Biden blaming these failures in part on Donald Trump for rolling back financial regulations in 2018. Is that an accurate claim? Is that part of what went wrong here?
Well, Jake, it certainly didn't help. I mean, I think if Silicon Valley Bank had taken the stress tests like the larger banks had done, that they may have uncovered the kind of fault lines in the bank and some of the problems that the bank are facing. Not a guarantee. I mean, these are only simulations. You test the bank under different scenarios, so who knows? But certainly didn't help.
Should Americans across the country watching us right now be worried about their money?
No, I don't. No, obviously not. Not at this point. I mean, the president has come in and said, "Look, what's happened here is a systemic problem to the entire banking system. So if you're a depositor in the bank, whether it's below 250K in deposits or above 250K in deposits, your money good. You're going to get your money out at this point in time. So I don't think there's anything to worry about here at all.
What's the difference between the big bank bailouts we saw in 2008 and what the government's doing now?
Well, one thing is just scale. I mean, what we're talking about here is a few banks that got into trouble. And back in the financial crisis, it was nearly every bank that got into trouble. Not only here in the United States, but all over the globe. And it wasn't,
Hey, you got to unmute. Hey, shalom, family. How y'all doing out there?
I'm right here talking. You know what I mean?
Talking.
Hey, I used to say, "Boy, they don't know they on mute."
No, you doing the same thing.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying, boy? Because this stuff don't be easy, I tell you. But man, shalom everybody, shalom everyone. Man, welcome again to another episode of the Off Limit Show, where really nothing is off limit. Where we come and discuss either current events, it could be biblical matters, financial. I mean, anything under the sun, you know what I'm saying? So we just want to bid you all welcome again to the show. Got Jayla, all up in here, you know.
Hey, shalom, family. How y'all doing?
I'm gonna have to reposition.
You look like you shrunk. All we see is head.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something else. But shalom, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to the Off Limits. Hold on, let me fix myself.
It's always good. It's always good to be back in front of y'all, family, and be able to talk about some different topics and issues. You know, we want to be able to start talking about these things, man. Again, we need to speak on these things so we can be prepared, prepare our minds, prepare our hearts, prepare ourselves financially, prepare ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever we need to do. But we want to talk about this stuff, and we want to talk about it in a very, very physical manner, in a manner that we can actually work something. Listen, we got to have faith, but we got to actually put some work into our faith too. So we want to be able to move forward and try to get some experts in front of you, get some people in front of you that can talk to you about these things that we're not experts in. And this is also a learning opportunity for us. So we take the opportunity to try to talk with y'all about these things, talk between one another, and try to bring professionals in if possible. So tune in, get your popcorn, you know, let's see what we can sit back and learn today.
Yeah, I try to take a bite out of the page of Solomon, where he pretty much was an expert at everything, but I try to be well-rounded and learn about different things, you know, and be prudent about the world around you, physical matters, spiritual matters, mental matters, economical, financial, whatever it is. You know, you try to be as astute as possible when it comes to these type of knowledges. But what I want to say too is that what we're going to discuss is you know, there's been a lot of talks about bank collapse, you know, financial collapse. You know, people has done prophecies and things of that nature. People has done prophecies, things of that nature about what's going on or what they think is going to happen. All of these different things. So we want to make sure we can discuss what is going on in this world, basically. You know what I'm saying? Are we seeing smokes and mirrors? Are we seeing something maybe that's pre-planned? I don't know. Let's discuss this, because you know it's gonna say in the last days you're gonna see all these different things happening. Mark of the beast and all these different topics and worries and fears and things of that nature that they're gonna try to implement things really just to scare you, so that you can seek other help from other places. But we know the Most High. You know, he's our deliverer. He's the one that provides for us but it doesn't necessarily mean just because he provides for us, we don't get our hands dirty. You see what I'm saying? Because faith without works is dead. So yeah, Jay Lutch, go ahead and take it on, man, as far as like introducing the guests who we got coming on, and then we go ahead from there.
Absolutely. So, I've known this good brother of mine, man, for a couple years now. And, we've been growing together, getting to talk to him. Very good brother. I know, and all the people that I know that speak of him speaks very well of this brother. We wanted to bring him on to speak on the topic about money. You know, how does this stuff look? You know, what's the financial collapse looks like? What should our mindsets be when it comes to it? And ask him many questions. You know, this is a time for us to ask questions. Put your questions in the chat too. You know, let's see if he can answer some questions that we may have. You know, this is most definitely not my area, so I'm most definitely here to learn. So I know him by Ariyahu, but his brother name is Dean Parker, man, and he's been doing smart money things for a long time. And so let me not explain that to you. Let's have him come on and explain to you his expertise and give us some answers we hope that he may have.
Can I be heard? Make sure my mic ain't muted.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, greetings to all of y'all. Podcast. Man, it's good seeing all y'all faces. Y'all are like famous people to me. I listen to the music. My whole family sing Jay Lutch in the car. I'm the one that's honored to be here today, so I really appreciate it.
Honored to have you, man. Honored to have you.
Honored.
Bless. Well, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert with money. I still make there's a lot of hindsight going on in many areas. So, you know, so it's always a growing thing. You know, we weren't taught money in many of our school systems. We wasn't taught the banking system. You know, and we talking about just through like the primary years. You know, just you graduate high school. You know, if you went into college, you probably got into more, you know, deeper studies if that was your mind. But for the most part, you know, the American education as a whole for public schooling, we don't have these things. You know, we don't have money management, banking, how to deal with credit, or land ownership. Like none of those are there, and those are some of the most important things you're going to encounter as an adult. So over the past maybe 15 plus years now, you know, I've always just efforted myself to always educate myself, stay astute, because obviously these is the type of lane that we have to go in, get the research ourselves.
Right.
Now, I can only assume this is a platform of people who do research. You know, you're a researcher. You look into whether it's current events such as bank failures. You read the renowned ancient sayings of old out the Hebrew text. You're a researcher of sort. So I'm not going to say I'm a expert in money. I just, based on biblical commandment, I pay attention to it more closely now. You know what I mean? So I'm also to start with a scripture verse. If there's no questions before I move forward, that's kind of like my brief intro. Not an expert, but I just apply certain principles.
Go ahead, do your thing, man. You know, questions will be flying soon.
Okay. All right. Cool. You know, let's dive in. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. I'm gonna dump in because everybody know money is a defense. Everybody know this. I often question, well, what's that whole verse? You know, and more often than not, everybody kind of freeze like, whoa, I don't really know. I know money is a defense, but that's the second principle that comes along in this verse. So I'm gonna read Ecclesiastes 7:12. No, I'm gonna go one verse before that, verse 11. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. All right. For wisdom is a defense, And money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. Oh man, they got the scripts. Thank you. I'm gonna have to come out and visit y'all more often. I like how y'all do this. All right. That last statement.
Give them those too much credit, man. You know we just made it.
Yes, sir. The last part of that verse, the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. All right. I'm gonna explain more, but I'm gonna jump one more spot. I'm gonna put precept on precept, then we can talk a little bit after that. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11 now. Quick too. It's on deck. I like it. I like it. All right. Out the gate, they're talking about money. Come on, people. We're artists on this platform. We got bars. When you read, cast thy bread upon waters. Come on, bro. What are we thinking about? Some places is like, clearly this is metaphor. Clearly this is allegory. But many places in the Bible, that's not the case. Straight to the point what they're saying. But here, okay, let's not conclude at verse 1. Let's just read a little. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Clearly not talking about a loaf of bread. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. I'm going to skip down to verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of Elohim who makes all. In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall alike be good. Stop right there. Now we can go back, everybody, I encourage everybody to go back and read this chapter themselves, but going back up to verse 11, now we can include everything we're here to talk about today. The banking system, cryptocurrencies, business ownership, stocks and dividends. We talk about casting our bread on many waters here, right? All right. And this is the principle. So everybody should be principling themselves to 7 minimum. You might only find yourself at 4. I remember I was at 4 and I was like, I'm going to be patient for number 5. And I'm going to be patient for number 6. I'm going to work these 4. No, I'm going to work this 1 and 2 like it's my 7. I'm going to go that hard like I already got 7 going down. Because even when I get to 7, I still need to level up 1 more. And also to 8. It's almost like don't get comfortable. Okay, you got your 7, they solid, they probably prosperous. Like the verse, like the chapter continues to say, some of them lost today, but over here it gained big. You don't know which way it's going. So we got the banking system. I liked that the video there. They said in 2008 the major bailout. I remember that bailout. It was the first time we ever heard of something like this. Billions of dollars. The government just you sitting on that, bro. Like y'all sitting on that. Okay, all right. But if you look at the statistics, okay, 2008 was the first time in America that they've seen 25 banks fail. First time. All right, they kicked that bread out. But what they didn't show or talk about the year after 2009, 2010, 2011, America saw about 150, 160 something banks fall per year. And they left that off the books. That's not talked about. So just in the banking, we see the principle here of, listen, you don't know what evil shall be upon the earth. That's verse 2. We don't know. It behooves us to just stay ahead, have some good things in place. So I'm gonna pause there, and if any of the hosts wanna.
So is that why you brought up the idea of wisdom?
Yes, sir.
Have that, because that's what really allows us. Because a lot of times people, when they get in this awakening, they bring that whole Christian concept about money. It's like the boogeyman. People are scared to talk about money.
Right.
As soon as you mention it, and I think it goes right back to the distrust that we have between one another as brothers and sisters. I try to harp on love so much because people don't understand the idea and how we don't like each other. It affects every aspect of our lives, every aspect. So when you think about money, even discussing money itself, people start to cringe. And the only right people cringe is because, now they feel like you about to ask for some money, or you want to do something that has to do with money. And it's like, there you go again. Money. You know what I'm saying? So speak to that. And then we can kind of go into the whole idea of the wisdom behind why we need wisdom when it comes to money.
That's pretty good. Well, the scriptures do tell us that we are each other's inheritance. So, in this particular diaspora for us, in America at least, some of the systems that's been put in place teaches us, it programs us with this don't trust each other kind of vibe. From the music, like what do they call it? I forget, drill. This drill music that they have, this death culture, this was supposed to have been about hip hop.
Right.
It's rap now. It's such a death culture. Just so, I mean, we as a people gotta, change our desires. Like we gotta start wanting the right thing, standing up for the right thing. It's like, even if we see a young man or something, it's okay to tell him that's not cool. Like, bro, it's not cool to kill us. It's just really not cool, bro. And we need to figure out how to get that message out some more. Like, thou shalt not kill. It's not cool. But we're the only race that's doing it. So, man, you asked me probably the one question I can't really answer.
So
those of us who know. Go ahead, please.
So why do we need wisdom when it comes to the money? Why do we need that?
Oh, thank you for helping me bring that back around. I almost got lost in the sauce of what our people need to do. Oh man, all right. So there's what I didn't mention in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. One of my favorite verses. The first verses say, "A good name is better than precious ointment." You know what I mean? And the only thing we have, like whether it's just in the street or on a business or on your credit report, is your name. Jay Lutch introduced me in a certain way, which I really deeply appreciated. Say everybody that mentions this brother's name, speaks kind words. Says this man has good terms in his hand, like he's going to give of himself. That's precious ointment right there. You know what I mean? I never heard him introduce me before. I don't know what people have been telling him about me, but I just heard it today. I was like, precious ointment. So, the wisdom of it is that it's not about money. Like, if you set yourself to have your name good, and we know what good is now, come on, we're adults. If we set ourselves to have our name good, man, people around will speak for you. You know what I mean? Of our work. So the wisdom really is in how Apostle Shaul say, seek you another man's wealth. So first thing I did, I was like, all right, good name. On every level, I gotta have my name good. So I went in LLC, my name, Dean Parker and Associates, LLC. I went and got my credit right. But getting my credit right, for me, it didn't entail contacting one of my friends or something this is going back 10 years now. I just went and got the Federal Credit Reporting Act book. You know what I mean? It's like 60 pages long. It's not, but only 3 of the chapters is for the consumer. So I'm like, I'm the consumer. I at least need to know these 3 chapters. And when I read those 3 chapters, I started doing my own credit repair. I teach it now because over the last 10 years, I set up a certain fail-safe system. But all I'm doing, I'm giving y'all the jewels. So if you pay for my class, all I'm going to tell you is to go and read the consumer section of the consumer report. Now, if this ain't love, now I'm losing money in this conversation. This is love. This is not about the money. That's the wisdom of it. Is that everybody that follow podcasts like Off Limits need to be elevated. You need to be elevated. All right. So go in there. There's 3 chapters. It's like it's lettered. H, I, and J, I believe. The Fair Credit Reporting Act. Go read those 3. And I'm pretty sure by the end of this conversation, I can leave an email or something and people can contact me. And it's not hard. It's not really hard. So I got my credit.
What's the name of? I'm sorry. What's the name of the book again? You said 60 pages. What is it again?
The Fair Credit Reporting Act.
And it's a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a federal act.
But you actually said something that kind of, I don't know, it might have went over a lot of people's head where you said about the name. Because, you know, we're talking about money, but you really ain't talking about money. So it's like the value is in the name. I guess you can say the reputation of that name, right? So if you have a good reputation, when it comes to money, it don't mean nothing. Because doing business between one another, you wouldn't even be worried about whether somebody's going to be stiffing you or doing this or that because of the name that you have. So the name itself is even more important than the actual money itself. Is that kind of what that's what I saw out of it.
I mean, that's spot on. That is spot on, brother.
All right. So we got this banks collapse, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now we see Joe Biden, you know, he blaming Trump. You know what I'm saying? He blaming Trump. There's so much in that video. And not only that, it's almost like this stuff sounds like it's been going on for a long time, since 2008, right? And now Biden say, oh, calm down, calm down. Now, when you go in the World Economic Forum, you see what they trying to do, how they trying to change the financial system. And they're using that so-called syringe thingy, you know, to try to expedite a lot of that, right? 2008, they did what you call bailouts. Notice they stand away from that word now because how can that just collapse? How you just gonna lose all the money and then now you can still make payroll, right? So that means the government stepped in, the feds came in. So that's a form of bailout, even though they're not calling it that. Now they're saying don't panic.
Something happened. Hold on.
Right, yeah.
Hit the wrong button. They hit the wrong button. He gonna come back. He gonna come back.
Here you go. Here you go, yeah.
I tried to go read the chats and it was over with. My apologies.
So in that video, man, they really mention a lot of things that really raise an eyebrow. What did you think happened in your educated guess or your educated scenario? Like, what do you think happened to that bank? What do you think that they're planning? Because I remember that when they brought that guy Wesley on, Jake Tack, he said, "Well, this simulation." He literally said, "This is a simulation." I don't know if y'all caught that. So, what do you think is going on?
You know, I would kind of second a simulation opinion. You know, that's kind of why I alluded to not only the 2008 bailout, but how 2009, 10, and 11 was up to 100 bank failures as well. You know, so there's a lot going on clearly that we're not informed about. And a lot of this is hinged off what they're saying, what was he? A capital venture guy,
right?
Had kind of gave out some stock information. Okay, well, we need to start considering what are these capital ventures, because these are type of terms in our minds, organizations that's so far above us, and it's really not. All we need to do is go and read Regulation A fund, Regulation D funds, and we can start them ourselves. So we can be people that pushes these needles and pushes these narratives. It's just that, as a collective, we need to learn what these funds are. So some guy who put together big ideas that a lot of people put money into, he said something that made a bank move. Now, I don't count these dudes as what's the word? I can't think of a better word. All I can think is what my grandfather would normally say, willy-nilly. I don't look at these type of dudes, venture capitalists, and nobody has given me $300 million of theirs to move in and out of tax brackets and pockets for them. However, I'm still cognizant enough to know what my word is going to affect. So the dudes that's handed those kind of millions and billions of dollars, I could see why simulation was put out there, because they spoke it to make something happen.
And when you say they spoke it to make something happen, is it sound like they're testing something? Is that what you? Go ahead, Pop.
Please.
I don't know what he means, because I mean, sometimes, like, I've noticed if you watch it like Market Watch, I think that's what it's called, Market Watch.
Mm-hmm.
These people, they'll have a segment about some stock. They'll talk about it, and all of a sudden you will see it reacting based on what they say. So I don't know if is that what he meant, like they said something to make it happen, because they'll discourage people. People start pulling out their money. Like, I've noticed that just paying attention to what they say and how they say it. Oh, this stock could be good. Everybody run over there. This stock could be good. Everybody, or this is having problems. Everybody pull their money out, collapse the whole thing. The people on the top know, so that's what I'm thinking he's saying.
Like what, in agreement with that, I was watching about Silicon Valley Bank, and they was talking about how right before it collapsed, like how the investors or the heads or the owners of the bank, how they were like giving themselves bonuses. They were putting out the word that, hey, everything was going to be fine and things of that nature. Knowing what was coming, and they did stuff to invest in themselves, so that when it failed, there was nothing happening to them, but everybody who had their money in the bank were experiencing a huge issue and happening. So I agree that a lot of that's kind of happening.
Yeah, I read when you go on the World Economic Forum website, there's a lot of things you can read, especially when COVID came out, and some of the things that they wanted to implement, right? I noticed they mentioned banking system problem quite a bit. So now look at the timing. So, you had this big old thing happen, with the world shut down, things of that nature. And when you read what's on the World Economic Forum website, they're talking about really resetting certain things, right? Resetting everything, really. That also includes the financial system, right? They talk about that. So now all of a sudden you got banking system issues. So you got banking system problems. So in light of that, even in that video we watched, there's a lot of that in there. So what do you think? Do you think, Aria, that maybe they're trying to reset the system? And if they are, then how can that affect us? Or how does that affect your current money in the bank?
What I think they're targeting is the crypto world. Let's take it to left field. I think they're targeting the crypto world because, if I'm not mistaken, that SVB system Signature Bank, you know, the bank that fell next to them. Those were the main. If you had cryptocurrency, however you had cryptocurrency, you was dealing with them one of them two banks. And I know I cashed in a little bit of crypto and got out of there before a lot of the tax shiftings took place. You know, the last year or two, you got crypto, that was capital gains. You had to come cough that up. Prior to that, they didn't have that. They didn't understand what was going on. So they couldn't even hit people with the capital gains taxes. So fortunately, I didn't have any insider information. It's just how my life worked out. I got in, made bread, got out of there, cast my bread upon that waters, got out of there and bought some land and been continuing buying land since then, because capital gains money have to go into other assets. And it just works for wealth building purposes. However, back to my point, I do think they're targeting and trying to re-regulate the crypto world. So it would behoove everybody to get them a MetaMask, find out which cryptos they about to roll out, because it's definitely about to be a world currency with the crypto space. There's no getting around that. And from back in the several months ago, maybe a year or two, MetaMask is that one. It could be something that they've made now based on what's going on. Tech banks getting hit. So now the tech world probably restructuring themselves. So I think we're in a real interesting time frame, but that crypto space is what was targeted.
Now with the cryptocurrency, go ahead, Steve.
Oh, I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask you. Are you able to speak just a little bit? And I don't want to try to go off too far of the questioning that Lorvins is having, because he's asking some really good questions.
Man,
the you say about investing in land. How much wealth is in investing in land? If you could just go into it for a brief second.
I can do a brief second. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and whoever else. Oh, Kanye West. What they buying up? Land. All right, go ahead. let's follow the billionaires. Let's follow the billionaires. Go.
Go mimic them. No, what I was saying about the you were saying the crypto, like maybe that's the next thing what they're trying to segue into. The little research that I did, maybe a couple years, I had a brother that he moved to Africa, and he told me about this. Now, don't y'all be going sending y'all 401k to this thing I'm about to say. Just go research, man. Your pie got me broke. They calling me. just listen, like. It's
Disclaimer.
Technology.
Yeah.
Do not go.
Always study for yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. The Bible says this, so put it on all aspects of your life. It's this. It's like this system. It's like, you know how we go and swipe our cards, debit cards, and you know that little machine. What is it? The kiosk, whatever that little thing is. Well, years like. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it's this technology that's centered around crypto. So it's called Pundi X, PUNI. I type it here, so y'all could really go research this. This is the technology behind crypto transactions that you can have in a retail store. Matter of fact, they send these, they call them POS systems. They've been sending these all over the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go on the site, it'll say where they shipped to, like, recently. And all these other countries are adapting this new system already. Like, I was freaked out when I started research. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, at some point, hey, you could take a Bitcoin and go buy some flour, a Dogecoin and go. So this is what they really coming into. And then another brother I was just talking to, he was like, they are actually sending out debit cards for each of the type of cryptos out there. So if y'all scared of this stuff, don't be scared because somebody done spooked y'all out. I'd rather you be scared because you research. But this is what they're moving into. This is the next phase of it. it's like be diligent, you know, when it comes to these things, because these people are ahead of the curve. Some of these people bought Bitcoin back in the way that I was in college. They came out with Bitcoin. Some of the people done been millions and millions of dollars. Some people done lost their Bitcoin. Like, please pay attention to when these people talk. And they always say this in this market. I'm gonna be quiet in a minute. I'm sorry. By the fear, you know what I'm saying? So when they start spooking y'all and crypto about to collapse, listen, these people, they're wealthy people, they are buying into these systems. They are buying into these systems, and that's what make the market go up. They'll scare us for not participating, but they be in it. They be in it and they be chilling until somebody speak and say, oh, Dogecoin, like Elon Musk. I don't know if y'all know these people. Dogecoin, Elon Musk, he said this, he sent a tweet out and Dogecoin just went straight up. I know somebody that actually made $1 million. I know them. You know what I'm saying? They made $1 million because Elon Musk tweeted one day on Dogecoin. So please, y'all, please take heed to what the brother is saying, because it's for real out here. All right,
I know we don't have much more of your time left here. I think whatever important questions we can ask him, I would say let's do that and try to get as much information that the Ak can give us if possible.
Yeah.
I know he don't have much time left.
Can I say one more thing before they say the questions? Everybody get you a portfolio. Don't even let that term be daunting. Your portfolio looks like your mortgage, because eventually that's going to become your owned asset, your stocks, your crypto, land that you just might own. You can have these things sectioned off in a 3-ring binder and call this 3-ring binder your portfolio. Get you a planner. Start writing down some goals. Mark what day you finish that goal so you can look back next year and see your progress. This is a really good foundation for casting your bread upon 7 to 8 waters. Really good foundation. The term portfolio is not some off the scale thing we had to went to Yale, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge for. No, it's a 3-ring binder that you got sectioned off with these different things for your money markets. Okay.
Now, so we can have some people, because some people, they're concerned about the fiat currency that they currently have in the bank. You see what I'm saying? Now we know everything is going digital. I mean, cryptocurrency, all of that. So what does it look like based on what you've seen so far, how this transition is going to happen? Now, is it all of a sudden everybody's just going to lose their physical currency, or is things just going to convert digitally to but to replace the fiat currency in itself? I mean, do you think that's where it's going?
Like in the long run of things, like that in particular, I'm not sure if we have to worry about that so soon. But I can definitely see it all going strictly digital into some type of world currency system, rather than these different countries digitally.
Now, I've been reading a lot about digital assets, and a lot of people talking about digital assets. Digital asset is in the sense of where when you make money, you have some kind of connection to make money digitally, whether it be on the internet. Like me per se, I make music. So, a lot of times I have this portal that pays me for some of the music, that I can make, right? So these companies may switch to cryptocurrency. They may switch their finance, their instead of using fiat, they'll go digitally. That would be considered a digital asset. You see what I'm saying? Because they're paying me digitally. Right now it's fiat currency, but once they switch everything over, I'll be getting paid digital currency. Now, I know a lot of people talking about, well, that's the mark of the beast because you're getting money digitally. Okay, I guess you could say when people was trading with gold, that would be mark of the beast, right? And then you start using paper money, mark of the beast, right? And then when you get the credit card with the chip marking the beats right, all it is, they're changing the form in which the money looks like. That's all they're doing. So you have to position yourself in a way. Do people need to start thinking about digital asset? Or if it's not digital asset, having some kind of asset that's connected to the digital currency?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that I kind of didn't dive on it. I didn't know you was gonna go that far in. I kind of laid off of it the first time you asked. But yes, I mean, the world is curving that way. I don't really like to speak in a way that might present a fear to people. But if we're gonna just bring wisdom back around, yeah, like everybody should be eyes wide open to what this sister talked about. I just looked up the coin she mentioned. My mind is blown right now. The quick information I got 500 for them today. They just went up 3 points in the last 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
So that's money we just saw flying right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, I'll tell people to go ahead and put their money into crypto because the world is shifting to that. I mentioned land. I'm working with a tech team myself. I own a lot of land. My land portfolio is probably close to $750,000 just in land assets, coupled with mineral rights. And I'm gonna tell you, I bought a lot of my land assets out of the state of Mississippi. I don't live there. I've been to Mississippi 8 hours of my life, but I found out how to buy land and mineral rights from this state. So since then, I've bought and sold land, retained mineral rights. Some people I sell the mineral rights to as well, but that's the kind of things you take and put into trust funds.
Right.
Rights to things. You could add the land too, but again, I can sell the land separately and retain the rights. So as those rights and values of that increase, my trust fund is my digital ledger. I'm putting together an AI robot for some of these land plots. We mentioned the billionaires, they're buying up farmland. I myself am a certified naturally grown farmer. Been farming for professionally about 8 years now. Born and raised Detroit, Michigan. I moved a lot of places. I eventually end up in Georgia under a very serious man named Asa. He's a master farmer here in Georgia. I did an apprenticeship program. I moved back to America after being gone for about 4.5 years. Not in the military, just moved on my own. And I wanted to learn how to be a farmer. So I lived 7 years with a master farmer. And that finished for me 2 years ago. So I'm currently, establishing my own farm. But to make a long story short, we're putting together with my tech team, because I help people plot and plan either their home garden, their 5-acre garden, or their 50-acre commercial farm. The man I trained under has hundreds of acres. So I was trained on just about every piece of equipment. We've defied all the racial barriers of, hey, backwoods Georgia is so racist. Yeah, they are. They don't like niggas. Can I tell y'all the truth? I don't like niggas either. So it really helps. It helps, when they see when the ones that hate niggas see us that have value, see us that's actually adding to society, being wise, able to guide them. This is what the scriptures say. They will look at us and call us a wise and understanding people. They're doing agriculture. They're not doing husbandry. There's a huge difference between agriculture and husbandry. All right. However, back to my point. Me and my tech team, we're putting together an AI robot so we can put a blockchain on the land plots that I'm selling. So you can go online and pick the blockchain's brain, which is my brain, on your plot of land that I sold you. So it's going to be a whole indoctrination sold with plots of land now that people don't even have to contact me no more. Just over time, my AI will be trying to go and get updated on land value, on minerals, on everything.
That's
So
serious.
that don't even exist. That don't even exist yet. It will. But I brought that up because, like Lawrence is saying, if we go ahead and just dive in, like Sister Yapa is saying, stop being scared. It's going. Everything is going that way. So dive in now while we're still early. You got brilliant minds on here explaining to you. Dive in now.
And the thing about it too is the idea of the fear factor that we experience. We experience fear out in the world already, from CNN and all these different news. But we also experience fear within the awakening. The it's almost like a fear of where people want to control you, lord over you, to make you do certain things, to make you feel bad about progressing, to make you feel bad about earning money, to make you feel bad about growing. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing if you're not blessed in the technology world, but what do you say to people? Okay, maybe you don't want to have a digital footprint, which I don't see how you escape it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is America. But if you convince yourself that maybe you don't have a digital footprint in America, what would you recommend for people to do if that's the case? Should they just go ahead and buy land, and if they're going to be self-sustainable, then they're going to what? They're going to have to become farmers, right, in order to survive.
Absolutely. It's to the point now where each man should be training his green thumb or looking at one of his sons, like one of y'all about to be a farmer when you grow up, because it's a lost art. You know, I actually did a post on one of my social media platforms the other day, and I said, hey, maybe you don't know, but farm management starting pay is $78,000 a year. And I was like, how do I know? Because I was a farm manager for several years before getting my own farm. All that took was a year or two of some training, and now I'm ready for management. I mean, when you get a regular job, they put you on this 18-month to 30-month track of management. It's the same structure. And it could work that way for farming. If you jump in and take it serious, you automatically gonna put yourself at an $80,000 a year category, because being able to manage a farm, that's not farm hands. You ain't even got to be out there picking the cotton. You got to be the one explaining to the one that's picking the cotton, you're doing it wrong. But in the 2 years' time, you've mastered several, crops and dealing with certain animals and fishing the waters. So it's a must.
So essentially saying the way, if people want to get on board now, what about, I know we're going into something that I'm going to ask a question about. I think someone actually mentioned, because I was going to go there. We have people in this awakening that don't really have the ability. Like, for instance, like you got the elder women or the elders, really. Maybe you have a woman that's struggling that's single and orphan and things of that nature, right? What do you think as a collective we can do maybe to give aid to people like that, whether it be financial advice and I know that's twofold, because it's kind of like, man, you a widow, but then it's like you don't have a community you belong to. So it's kind of like, how do you progress? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, you need to understand too, like if you're an elder and you're this and you're that and you're single, but what community do you belong to though? Like, what's your circle? Where's your father? Where's your mother? Where's your elder? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that plays into it. We can't be into this gimme because I'm in this condition. But are you trying to be part of a community of people? I'm not saying to be on a land or whatever this and that with someone calls a certain amount of people, but who are you answering to? Like, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have an elder that you can, at least a community of people, friends that's close enough that can hold you up? Is there enough love in your circle to where if you needed aid, they can help you? what would you recommend in a situation like that?
Along the lines of what you're saying, but I would bring it back full circle to a good name is as precious ointment. You know, because if you find we mentioned a single mother, maybe financially struggling, there are other women, there are groups in Hebrew communities of people who would support along the lines of you being valuable to the group. So you got to make sure what you're bringing. You may be messed up, but you like, yo, my good name is, you ain't never seen no stoves clean like this. You ain't never seen no, hey, don't worry about cleaning up no more. Don't even think about it. If you thought about it, it's clean already. Like, people need to humble themselves. A lot of people go forward because they have EBT or some type of government aid, but all that can easily go. So wisdom would dictate, get with some communities, find good name people that you can link with, get around. Maybe they can point you in some direction. But it's really about you want your name to be precious ointment. No matter where you are, you can clean up your name.
You sure that's not settling, Ark? You sure that's not settling?
Oh man. Well, one thing people can do, man. One thing people could do when you ask them how many years they've been working, and you ask them how much they have saved in the bank right now that they don't have to touch, and then when they average that out over the amount of years it took them to be having that, I mean, have they been settling? Most people don't really have 5,000, but been working for 10 years. So we've been settling with a lot. So we talking survival now.
And I think all of us are guilty of it. All of us. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it. And really, it has a lot to do with submission. And I'm not saying submission as a man to a woman or a woman to a man or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about submitting to our failures, like to the point where we fail, but then when we try to look for answers, you're going to have to submit in order to get better.
That sounds like accountability, y'all.
Yeah, right.
Can I
You
say
have
something?
to be. Go ahead.
I hope I can say this safely on this platform, okay?
Man,
Let me tell you.
this is where nothing.
We about to boot you off. Soon as you say something wrong, we're gonna boot you off.
All right, so check this out.
So
I want to.
I don't woke him up.
I want to.
No, it's off limits. It's off limits, Ark.
Ain't nothing off limits.
Ain't nothing off limits.
Listen, I had to do what the Ark was just talking about. I had to really look at myself and be honest, like take accountability for like, yo, you're a failure in that arena, bro. It's not working for you. So with that is the reason I stopped selling weed. I was not good at it.
My.
Hey, before you say anything, people ain't gonna even believe it, bro. I even tried it.
Bro,
I even tried it. Bro,
was you singing? Was you singing?
Bro, you talking about?
You better not been singing trying to sell these dimes.
Bro, I ain't even gonna front. I tried it, bro. I know he laughing. Like, are you serious?
Oh, this is getting clipped up. Oh, let's get clipped up. Come on.
It was the worst thing. I was like, man, what the heck am I doing? Bro. You know what I'm saying? Because trying to get that fast money. You see what I'm saying? I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't good at it. Some brothers are good at it now.
Yeah. I'm like, what you doing?
Oh boy.
I had to get back to singing, bro.
So a lot of times people need to look at the things we've been doing year after year and just be honest with yourself, like, yo, that's not working for me. It's just not working. And stop deceiving ourselves like this year I'm a new me. I'm gonna try the same thing again. Like, come on. Come on.
But I had to take a long look at him like, bro, you, bro, come on now. Like, it's like, get it up.
Oh, I'm crying. Like, I can't believe it.
Man, you know that leads me to something that the elder always says, man. When I listen to him speak, man, he always says, things like that is why you shouldn't judge yourself. You need someone else. You need someone else to tell you about yourself sometimes, you know?
I tell you.
So that way you can make a proper decision. You could go in the proper area, you know, and do what you're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes we, like you said, we get to go in those same circles over and over, you know? and sometimes you need somebody to kick you in the behind, you know? So I know I've needed that, which is why I'm grateful to have an elder who would do that now. I'm grateful.
Oh, man, mother, look at what Mother Juanita said, man. You are too proper for that.
Get him, Iman.
Look. I'm proper, but you know, I've had skeletons, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And sometimes you just try things. It's kind of like Solomon. Solomon, he just went around, he just did whatever. He just tried stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and it's one of those situations where you like, man, my homeboys did it. Look how they, you know what I'm saying? So you try your hand at it, you like, nah, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? Just give it up. So, but anyway, you're right. I'm proper, but I'm also not proper enough for that either. You know what I'm saying?
Look, y'all started talking about weed and the beer account went down. Man, come on back, y'all. Ain't nobody.
Yeah. Please. They're like, oh my God.
Y'all feeling some kind of way? Come on, man. We're having a real conversation, y'all.
I cannot believe.
We're having a real conversation.
It only lasted about maybe a month, y'all. Okay.
Man, that's a while to flip some.
Not every day. You know, not every day.
No, man. Let's not act like we ain't got our skeletons in the closet, man. Let's not act like you so proper and so clean that your righteousness is as filthy rags. Let's not act like that.
Listen,
yeah.
I can sell land all day now, and I'm actually good at it.
Yeah. And I know you can't be here too long because you got other obligations. I mean, briefly walk the people that's looking, walk them through the process of how they can, how would I put this? Look after their money in a sense to where, what do they need to do, like to really protect what's about to happen? Because we know it's not going to get any better in terms of like, you know, the way the world is going. There's going to be a lot of control, things of that nature. I'm trying not to be conspiratory, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, we know things are going to happen. You see what I'm saying? How do someone who has this money in a bank, what do they need to do with this money? And you read the scripture about diversified 7 waters, right? The waters, right? Different waters. So what do they need to do?
For those who have money sitting in the bank, everybody needs to do what Ecclesiasticus 42 says. Everything going out and everything coming in, have it written down. Hey, okay, you might not actually write it, but get your QuickBooks together or something. Like this shifts you over into the tax area, and everybody got to render to Caesar what's his. That's just where it's at, all right? However, for those who do have money sitting in the bank, I'm gonna say this first and then come back. You can shift that money into land. You will no longer be losing money. For every $100 you got in there, where inflation is now? Let's just say it's at 9%. You only got $91 in the bank. For every 100 you put in there, you only got 91 sitting in there. So I would say in that portfolio we were talking about, add some land. You can contact me and my team over at landcrypto.io. We are really good at getting wholesale land. We ain't talking about wholesale houses. We're talking about the land, raw, vacant land. All right. A lot of our plots, I'm a farmer, so I'm targeting a lot of farmland. I just know which way to go with some things. However, in our portfolio as a collective, we have a lot of residential plots as well. So let's say I have a residential plot that I'm selling for $3,500. But the thing about, let's say Mississippi in particular, I have the deed and the mineral rights. So the equity in the land is $7,000. So I don't know how familiar people are with the term equity. Most people get familiar with it after they got them a mortgage and put money in about 10 years. Equity don't take that long. You can literally buy equity. Literally buy equity. So let's say this was a land sale conversation, and all of you was considering buying my plot of land for $3,500. The moment I write the deed over to you, and you go to your tax assessor, they're going to say that's worth $7,000 right there. You put your business name on that. Now you got $7,000 in assets and collateral in your business name that you only paid $3,500 for. See, you would have heard, somebody would have told you, hey, come give me $3,500 and I'm gonna get your business credit report together. I'm gonna get you your Duns and Bradstreets, and I'm gonna add some, aged history on there. Well, what's more aged than land? Think about that. You're looking for an aged trade line? How many different lives and structures and different trades happen on land? It's an aged trade line that's on your business name. That alone is a 200% return on investment. In none of the investment worlds are they promising the best stock, and I hope nobody's on here, I hope this doesn't offend anyone. The best stock trading guru who's saying buy my course, he's boasting or they're promoting a 30% portfolio, but they're masters in that craft. It took them a while to get up to where they know how to negotiate and manage a 30% return on investment stock portfolio. It's a craft, and I respect it because I'm not capable of it. That's why I wasn't good at it. I tried day trading, like I tried to sell weed. I just wasn't good at it. But I understand it, and I understand how to have a little bit of money out there dealing with it. But the return on investment, at best, they're promoting 30%. Well, the land deal we just closed today, that was really 205% return on investment immediately. That investment class is unmatched. So everybody with money in the bank need to be shifting it from that savings account that's only earning you 0.04% per year. Get it out of that and put it in some land, because land is always liquidable. Especially if you bought it at a $3,500 wholesale price and its retail value is $15,000, it's liquidable.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, sir.
How does it benefit them practically? Although they may buy this land for $3,500, but then it's like a 200%, right? You said, right, return on it. How can they benefit from it immediately? Like you said, because the equity of it, because now it's 7,000 versus 35. But how does that benefit them? How do they gain access to that cash, I guess you could say, and make it work for them?
Man, that's a great question, brother. You good. You good. The beauty in land ownership, the beauty in farming is to create the creativity, man. The fact that I own this plot of land, I can do so much with it. I can know some friends of mine who they just interested in a trust fund. I'm gonna start a trust fund. Oh yeah, well, I got some mineral rights. You want to buy them? Give me $1,000, man. You can have the mineral rights. Just sign them over. It's okay. I've never sold my land. Or, hey man, you want to own a piece of land? Go 50-50 on me with it. I'll sell you 50% of my land, and we probably do something big with this plot of land later on. Or let's table those two. Hey, Mr. Banker, I see y'all survived the bank failures this year. Y'all looking for some customers? Well, I got $7,000 in collateral, plus this good business, my Dun and Bradstreet number, plus my structure and business set up all proper. You got this hard asset as collateral. Let me either pull a land equity loan, or let me pull this other financial loan product, and you just use that land as my lien. You can lien against my land that retail values at $15,000.
Somebody asked a question I was just about to ask you.
Oh,
You mentioned mineral rights.
Go ahead.
Hey, what do you mean by mineral rights, and how is that beneficial to have, and how is it used?
Oh, that's a great question too. My goodness. You can extract certain things from land, and become very profitable with it. Certain clays, you can make certain fine pottery. It goes on and on. So certain rights can go with that. Those are minerals coming out the ground. Or if there's a huge excavation company that just there's a huge venture capitalist company that just happened to say, hey, over there in that particular geographical location, there's an amazing amount of potassium. I'm just making up something over there. And we want to get that. So everybody in that range of things, we need to find out who got what's under the ground mineral rights. And that person probably can write their own ticket. So we could be sitting around waiting on venture capitalists just to make up their mind on where they want to go. And they just happen to be coming up my street. And with that, I actually target federal opportunity zones. So whenever I'm searching for land around America that I want to purchase, I look for federal opportunity zones, because venture capitalists and hedge fund people, they have to, when they receive all those money, they have to focus on federal opportunity zones. And that's where they have to put the money at. So just knowing that and having some lands in those areas as well, you could be setting yourself up for something amazing.
Okay. Man, that's all the question I have, man, as far as that is concerned. I mean, I can go on and on, but I'm trying to respect your time as well.
Yeah, we could bring this conversation back, man, because it's heavy. Is there should I leave any of my contact or anything?
Yeah. I'll let Jay. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah.
You want me to? Tell the people how to find you. All right, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to answer the number one question everybody probably asking. What's your website? I don't have a website. What I have is www.landcrypto.io. That is myself and my farming accountant. We decided to partner and put together this platform to help you understand preferential tax treatment when you own land, to help you understand various ways how to monetize when you own land. You can monetize 1/10 of an acre or more. 1/10 of an acre can be a state registered farm now since COVID happened. Again, we're going to bring this platform back. We're going to bring this back. So 1/10 of an acre can be a registered farm. And you can lease that to people who got green thumbs. It goes on and on. But so at landcrypto.io, you can learn those aspects: land ownership, how to monetize land ownership, the preferential tax treatment that goes with land ownership, how to write off the diesel engine, the cows, the gate. We go over all that there. So it's an informational, and we have a private club. There's a private club that you are invited to once you can prove with your name on the deed that you have 5 acres or more. There's a whole nother private sector that we invite you into, because it's a different conversation. If you don't have 5 acres, there's really not much need to have that conversation with you. You have a greater need to get 5 acres. So my email address, though, if you want to get directly to me, Dean Parker at financialid.info. Dean Parker at financialid.info. And if you do email me, mention credit repair or land ownership, and we'll probably end up talking about both of them anyways. Just mention that you're from this platform, and I'll have some special things in store for you. I want you to be able to go back on this platform when I'm not here and tell these brothers, that's a good man y'all brought up there. So make sure y'all inbox, email me, and say you saw me on this platform. I got something good for you.
See, look at that. Everyone's washing each other's hand. First, when we had the elder Dawid, we had Haji come up here. And he was 30% off. Yeah, he was up here. He was up here a few weeks ago with Ron Dalton.
Y'all brought me behind him. I need to go in front of him. I can't go behind that. I'm glad y'all told me after the fact. I'd have felt so nervous. Oh.
Yeah, right. Well, Jayla set you up, man.
No, man, no. You came up here. You spoke well, and you gave us a lot of information. We appreciate all of the wisdom and knowledge that you gave us tonight. I'm gonna go over Ecclesiastes 7:11 myself and Ecclesiastes 42 and help me get my mind right. Y'all gave me a lot to think about tonight as well. And hopefully everybody out there listening, y'all got to reap some of the benefits of the conversation. So, and this is what this for. We want to continue doing things like this, bring people up who know how to speak on these topics. I'm learning myself, y'all. So don't be afraid to admit you failed. You failed in certain areas. Come on, let's take accountability for that and let's get better.
Yeah, I mean, you done showed me in a lot of places I failed. So it's just a matter of refocusing. You know what I'm saying? Refocusing and saying, you know what, man, if Bruh can do it, I can do it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like it's just a matter of refocusing and admitting like, hey, look, I just need to do better. I need to stop living in this la-la land people keep saying we living in. We live in reality, people. This is reality. Like, you know what I'm saying? How long have they been saying that like your food gonna fall from the ground, from the sky? I ain't see my food fall from the sky yet.
I'm done.
But that's the reality, though. That's the reality we face. You know what I'm saying? My food ain't never fell from the sky. I've been working since I was 16 years old. And every time, and the Most High has given me energy, He's given me life and breath, and I've been able to work to feed myself and my family. You see what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, the idea of food falling from the sky, that's not happening. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the Most High can't do it. His hand ain't too short. Everybody done read that scripture. But do you understand it in context? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to have wisdom. Use the wisdom that the Most High gave you and how to manage money and how to do all of these things. I done got a lot of nuggets because some of these things I'm not doing. You see what I'm saying? And I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I have a beautiful wife who usually say these things. You see what I'm saying? And that's what that's what a wife with wisdom does, to help you, so that way you can see the big picture because she sees it. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of us using the wisdom that the Most High give us and apply ourselves. Because the first thing we always do is complain. We complain, and we don't hold ourselves accountable because we feel like we can't do it. Why? Because they done told us we couldn't. In so many words, in so many ways, they told us we just couldn't do it. You are inferior. You're not capable. You don't have the smarts. You don't have the wisdom. But now we have this wisdom, the scripture. You know, the Most High gave us a bunch of commandments and how to comport ourselves and what we need to do to become a nation. But we refuse to become a nation. You're going to learn today. So you're going to learn today because we got to become a nation, y'all. This thing has to fulfill itself. And the only way that's going to happen, you got to put your bricks in, like my Imam said, and stop being lazy. Put your bricks in. Go ahead.
I see the caption here. It said, it should say land ownership or credit.
Or crypto.
I'm sorry.
She thinks it's crypto.
Hey, we want to be found working. We don't want to be found not working. Let's be found working. Let's be found putting our best efforts in. Let's try to double what we got. You know. Right. let's try to double, triple again. Cash that bread. 7, 8. You know. Let's get into different places, man. Let's become wise, man. I know we're wise people, man. You know that's part of one of the topics that we're gonna talk about one of these times is. But we're so spiritual, but we ain't getting none of this physical work in, you know? we need some of this physical work, fam. We need both. We need faith and works. We need both. So let's get our hands in the dirt. It's time to get dirty. It's just time for that.
And one more thing too, because I've been around and I know the thought process of our people. Please don't say, "Hey man, they so carnal. They so carnal. They thinking with the flesh." Don't do that. I mean, usually people who do that, they're not mature. It's almost like calling somebody names. You know what I'm saying? Childish names and stuff like that. Oh, this. That's because you don't understand. In the spiritual realm, when you become spiritual, and then you understand the word and what it's saying, because you said the word spiritual, you begin to do it. People who do it, that means they have more faith than the people who say they have faith and they ain't accomplishing nothing. Because they say faith without works is dead. So how can you say you have faith but then afraid to put your work in the natural? That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't say you believe and you have faith, but you don't want to do nothing. That means you lack faith.
We don't want to take up no more of your time. All right. Any last words you want to speak before you get out of here and handle your business?
Yes. Recap. The end of that verse says, "But the excellency of knowledge is wisdom does what? It gives life to them that have it." You can have all the money. I know some rich fools. I know some rich people who got horrible family structure, like they back and forth at each other's throat, husband and wife. They rich though. They're cash rich. So money is a defense, but wisdom gives life. And to land back up what y'all was saying about casting bread and working and faith without works, the good book tells us, do all that you can in 6 working days. Take a day off and get right back to the grind. Everything we talking about, none of this is beyond your scope. None of it is beyond your comprehension. Put the time in, read it over and over. The stuff will start making sense. Do exhaustive studies on certain words you don't know. It will start making sense. We need to have our financial IQ leveled up. But I thank you. I appreciate y'all. I do got to get to my Hebrew class. I take Hebrew night classes.
Man, all praise, man. Thank you for coming through,
Thank
man.
you.
You got to come back again.
Got to get you back. Got to have you back.
I would love to, man. I love the energy right here, and I need somebody like Lawrence. I need to hire you, bro.
I'm about to say he hiring. I know how to do stuff. I got value.
I need these kind of scrutinous questions in my circle.
Yeah. I can't take on no more right now. I can't take on
I was sweating.
I'm spit. No more job. But yeah, y'all, we got a special announcement.
Y'all bless y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Do I just hit the leave button? Is that how that works?
Yeah, hit the leave.
Shalom.
Boot you.
Shalom,
You get booted. You get
this girl.
You get booted or you can leave on your own.
It's gonna work out one way or another. It's gonna work out.
Your pop, man. Hey, but yeah, you know, last time we talked about this thing that we were supposed to do, the $500 towards the Inner Box Challenge. Hey, y'all, man, check out the music video. Inner Box, it is out. You know, the music, check it out, share it, whatever. It's doing great. I mean, man, more than I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? It's man, the Most High, he's so amazing, bro.
So wow, man, amazing.
Yeah, man, it's just, man, I'm just humble, man. Like he just, you just do it and then watch what he does with it. You see what I'm saying? So praise the Most High for that, for supporting the video and watching it and sharing it and things and that. Everybody sending their comments about the video and all of this and that. Man, it's been overwhelming. It's been overwhelming. And by the way, y'all don't know. By the way, the Ima that's on the that's actually in the chat. She was the one that said, I'm gonna tell some people this. We was having a conversation, and she was like, little do you know, the Most High, the way what he's doing, it's like what you're doing is crescendo. She basically said, like, you're going to a place where it's like he's elevating you in the work, and it's like a crescendo. And she had never heard the Inner Box song. And that word is not a word that people just use on a whim. You know, unless you like do music or something like that. And even if you do music, you're using that word when it comes to like vocals and things of that nature. And she just said it. And I was like, I said, Ima, have you heard the antibiotics? She said, I don't even know what you're talking about. I ain't, bruh. And in the last verse, I said, take you higher like crescendo. She finally heard the song. She's like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that a lot of these things happen in our lives. I mean, you already know. I mean, J-Lo, you already know all of you get these confirmation. We ain't trying to be all overseas. We can be spiritual too, right? You know what I'm saying? In a sense that I knew that was a confirmation. Like, man, that's amazing. You see what I'm saying? It's amazing. And so you know, when we do this work, there's a lot of things that happen behind the scene where the Most High just give us confirmation as to some of the things that we're doing. But anyways, that's my soapbox on that. So $500, we are at least giving out $500 in regards to that. And so, you know, what did we say? Like maybe like they do a rendition of the video or do something special with the video, things of that nature.
Yeah, if they can do a good rendition of the video, even if it's just a piece of the video that they decide to do and submit, you don't have to do the whole thing. You're muted. We can't hear you if you're talking to us, sis.
I'm saying y'all was froze on my end.
Well,
I don't know what. And Lorvin's just talking to the wind. We don't know what he's saying. I still can't hear him.
Right. So, you know, and what also call it.
Okay. He got a piece of foil on the laptop or something today.
You all right? You just cut out. You just stop talking.
Okay.
Nah, he got some Reynolds wrap over there. Trying to get some signal in the walls.
There go that internet again. So
let me address something real fast.
Go ahead.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Pearl, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Miss Pearl, it was no disrespect intended to the guest. You know, we already had built the report. We was already laughing and stuff. So listen, I avoid trying to disrespect people at all costs. So Miss Pearl, hey, don't worry about it. But if you felt so, I'm sorry that you felt that way. And if I did so, I'm pretty sure I could, call the brother up and apologize. So I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all felt like me saying you can get booted, was disrespectful anyway.
Our sister is always respectful. She's always loving. She's always caring. That's all I've ever known her to be. So I know when she spoke like that in the manner that she spoke in, that she was not being disrespectful. So I know that. So please, I don't think most of us didn't take it that way, but we understand that, some people take things that way. We just build rapport with the people that we talk with. That's all. And we have a good time with one another. We break the ice through comedy and talking with one another. And we have respect and reverence for one another as well.
Let my brother speak for me. Let my brother speak for me.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Wait a minute. One more thing. For those who don't know, we know how to talk to our sister in the background about things, okay? So it's not like, if we think there's an issue, we talk to our sister in the background, But that's not for this place. We take care of family business behind the scenes. That's what we do. I'm sorry, go ahead, Loris.
Oh, well, I obviously missed something.
I got in trouble.
You got in trouble? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she was someone said she was being disrespectful when he said he could leave or he could get booted.
Oh, Oh, no, 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 that's not her being disrespectful. Trust me. I think, we're astute enough to know, how to behave with one another because we joke a lot and the guest, he's a friend of ours. So none of that is intended. Yeah. To hang around us, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like-minded. You have to be lighthearted, you know what I'm saying? Because we joke a lot, but we're also very serious people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because we just know when to do certain things. Yeah, I was talking about the challenge, the $500 challenge that we're gonna donate towards the first, second, third winner. But what we also want is people to participate, though. You see what I'm saying? We want this to be like a big challenge to where you can do your best rendition of whatever part of the video, of the inner box video. But what we want people to participate in terms of like putting in the pot. For instance, we putting $500, right? And here we go, we're talking about money, but please do not take it this way. We will, if you want to participate and do it out of goodness of your heart, please do not feel obligated. You can actually donate to this cause because we want to help somebody. We want to have fun. We want to make this thing fun. This awakening, people are always sad and things of that nature. And I think a lot of times people take this cry out loud to a whole nother dimension. You see what I'm saying? As if we cannot have fun. You see what I'm saying? As if we're not allowed to laugh. As if we're not allowed to have a good time. Makes no sense to me. You see what I'm saying? I rejoice. And if I'm going to boast, I boast to the Most High. So if you want to donate to this, to where people can actually, whoever going to win the first and third, I don't care if it's $5,000, I don't care if it's $3,000, they're going to win it all. You see what I'm saying? We want to make sure that they get all of that. And it may be somebody that may need it. You just never know. But we want to make sure that this is something big, this is something huge, this challenge. And if you want to donate, you can do it two different ways. You can put the PayPal, Son of Shemites at Gmail. Son of Shemites at Gmail. And make sure you put Inner Box Challenge, all right? Son of Shemites at Gmail. And then put Inner Box Challenge. And then you can do it either Cash App or it's a $LNL Tracks. So L, the letter N, L Tracks. So those are the two ways that you can do it. Make sure you put for Inner Box Challenge, all right, so that we know for sure. And then that way we can show y'all what comes in, and then whoever does the challenge and whoever wins. And this is going to be up until May the 1st when we actually release the album that me and Jay Lush is doing, the collaboration album called World Without End. So we'll do this all the way up until May the 1st.
Man,
Y'all have anything to say about it?
Man, I'm just excited to see who gonna come out here and who gonna come out here in the black head wrap like your pop with the black thing on over and see them go in box. I just want to see who gonna go in like Q. So I'm waiting to see who's gonna do their thing. That's what I want to see.
Sure, I want to see somebody come out pop up with that brown jacket.
It just so happened I had no plans on wearing that brown jacket. It was just cold outside. I didn't know it was gonna be cold inside. That's my thought.
Yeah, it was kind of cold that night. And then you can do the obviously got to be a video. So, and then we can tell you how to send the video. Send it to the website, not the website, the email, the Off Limits email. So Off Limits at Gmail, yeah. So send your challenges there.
Okay, can you I don't know, just in case people didn't get all of the details of the challenges, can you just go through it once again, then mention the donation, and then I'm gonna add
we're doing the
video. Right, okay.
Okay, we're doing an Inner Box challenge. The thing that you have to do is any part of the video, whatever is your favorite scene, you can go ahead and either enact it or do something video-wise to portray that. And so the best one is going to win. So we're going to do 1, 2, or 3, the top 3. This team is donating $500 towards the prize. Okay. But we would also like for people to participate, make this big, so you can donate towards that. We don't care if it's $1,000, $900, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. Even if they donated $5,000, we're gonna give that to the people who win, the top 3. Okay. When you do the challenge, it's gonna be up until May the 1st. That's when we're releasing the World Without End album, me and J Luck collaboration album, which also includes In the Box single. And we're gonna announce it that day, which is May the 1st. Who win? Okay. What else am I missing? So you can, if you want to donate and you move to do so to help this to make it bigger than just the 500, you can send a cash app either to $LNL Tracks, $L letter N L Tracks. Make sure you put in a box or in a box challenge. It don't matter. And in the PayPal, you can do that also. Son of Shemites at Gmail. Son of Shemites at Gmail. All right. So that's it. Now the rules, please, modesty, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the video, it's modest. We don't want no twerking, none of that. Please do not twerk. You know what I'm saying? Please do not show no guns and branding weapons and stuff like that. We're not having that. All right. So please don't do that, because that's an automatic disqualification. Other than that, have fun.
How long does the video have to be?
Well, our video is only 4 minutes, so it shouldn't be 6, 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? So it got to be, and you got to have the song playing in the background. So whether you lip rapping it, lip singing it, however you want to do it, you see what I'm saying? But it got to be the actual song. All right. And if you need the song, just send us an email. We can send you an MP3 of it or a WAV file, however you want. But all the people that are participating, make sure you send an email, and we'll send you the rules, and we'll send you the actual MP3 of the song. So you don't even have to do the whole video. You can just do a portion. You might say, hey, I want to do your pop part or J-Lush part. You know what I'm saying? Or you might want to act out the beginning scene. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a group of you, you can do it too. A group of you can win it all together. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that too.
That's the smart way. That's the smart way. But yeah, don't forget, send the video to that email. It's going at the bottom of the screen. And if you know anything about sending videos, you may have to use websites like WeTransfer or FileMail to send a large file. So please understand, use WeTransfer or FileMail, but do send it to that email, because sometimes the files are too big to go through the regular email.
Yeah, and just send us an email if you want to participate. We'll send you all those directions. We'll send you the link to WeFile, FileMail, and WeTransfer.com. We'll send you all of that.
Dope, definitely.
Hey, do y'all want to watch the video with the people?
That'd be kind of cool too. You know what I'm saying? We can invite them on, and what made them do what they did, and whatever.
Right.
That sounds like that would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. Oh, like have the submissions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's depending on how many submissions.
Oh, that is. Well, we might have to choose like the best ones and make a decision from them or something.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be the ones that won, and then we would display those.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you. Or the top 7, the top 7 videos, and then we, you know what I'm saying.
But for every submission, we'll figure out what we're gonna do, because I got a clothing merch coming out soon, so maybe I'll send y'all some T-shirts for everybody that participates.
Get some.
It's gonna be something. Right.
Y'all all got smartphones, so you know what I'm saying. Everybody can participate in this thing.
It's getting heavy.
It's
getting heavy. Hey, that's what we want, though. We want it to be heavy. Let's get it done.
Right on. Right on.
Anything else? What else we got left? That's it?
No, that's it. I'm good.
All right, awesome, bro. Go subscribe to the channels, the Instagram page. Off Limit Show YouTube page. Do all of that, y'all. Again, we got a lot more coming up. A lot more topics we're going to be discussing. Look out for us at 9 p.m. Mondays, 8 p.m. Mondays. You know, we're going to try to get a lock on the time here, but you know, just look out for us, family. Come join the conversation. Come ask your questions. You know, come put your comments in the comment section and let us hear your thoughts. You know, conversate with us. Let's talk about these things. That a lot of stuff can be considered off limits. We don't have no limits. We're gonna talk about it all, so that way we can gain a better understanding, so we can move forward.
That's right, and man. What them 2 commandments, bro?
The 2 commandments. Love the Most High with all thy heart, soul, and mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hey, I second that.
Look, we don't
Yeah, but
we don't get the buttons.
Y'all about to end the broadcast. Let me say, I want to say, dang, they really like sisters supposed to remain quiet in the church. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Here you go.
I can't even say that. Like,
There you go. We're gonna talk about that too.
Here you go.
She can't say nothing there. Like,
Okay. All right.
no, but
talk
really
about
though,
that
this topic right here was really off the chart. So I know it's not, you know, it ain't no gossip. It's all about progressing our mindsets and stuff like that. Really take heed to this stuff, because you don't want to be caught, you know what I'm saying? You know, I know they talk about the bride, the oil, and the lamp. You don't want to be dry when it comes down to these things, when these things hit your front door. So please get with people that you trust. It's a lot of scam people, like a lot of con artists out here, even your own people. So please get with people that, you know, have their foot in the door and that you can trust, and get into these things. So, you know what I'm saying, you could be able to sustain yourself. It said wisdom is the stability of the time. So without the wisdom or the know-how, the experience, we ain't gonna be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be relying on the next person always. Let's get ahead of the curve. And you know what I'm saying, if you're older, I saw somebody say something like that, like if they were older, you know, get with somebody, you know, in your community, like, you know, in your community, in your group, hopefully your nephew, your husband, your uncle, you know, your brother, somebody is there to help. You know what I'm saying? Just ask questions and, you know, just get with the right people, because I've lost a lot of money dealing with this stuff. And I'm going to put the disclaimer out there. Do not go in thinking you're not going to lose anything. That's that. And it comes with, I had trial and error, you know, trial and error. What he say, failure. I wasn't afraid of failure. At first I was scared, you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to lose this $100, but then I go to Taco Bell, buy $38 worth of, you know what I'm saying, tacos and stuff and mayo sauce. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot be afraid. Everything takes time. You know what I'm saying? I think me and Lord are speaking about that. So that's all I got to say. Y'all don't be scared. If you scared, go to church.
Oh my goodness.
I love y'all.
That's
Now, why that woman act
I
like
didn't think people still use that.
why she act like I ain't asked, do anyone have anything else to say? And then she
I
made
guess
it
she's
seem
not.
like
She basically saying I ain't anyone. She wanted me to say her name.
Oh man, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you though at all. I didn't hear you.
We always got room for our people to speak, man. Don't worry, man. Nobody silencing no one over here.
Yeah, and we'll be the example. I mean, if you have concerns about your community and reaching out to others, if we can help, we'll help you. Send a email, offlimitshow at Gmail, and to see if you want to interact or meet other people. If we know someone in your area, we'll definitely connect you with them. Okay. But please don't be trying to connect with people just to use them now. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you can benefit one another. All right. Because that's not good either. So make sure you are able to benefit one another to some degree. And if you need more help than the next person, you know, we'll be able to know that, and then we'll do the best we can. But we'll try to group you with people if we have connections in those areas. If we don't, we'll go to the next step and see what else we can do. All right.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Shalom.
Shalom. What they do?
You have to play the video. Play the video.
Oh, Yo, what? Yo, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness! Wait. Okay, I'm messing up. Let's see.
That's your pause for you, y'all. You know what? We claim her though. We claim her. That's all.
We claim her.
We claim her. We claim her.
In progress.
Stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all actually reach back. You know.
Listen, Israel knew his name, and what did it do for them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I just want to serve him in spirit and truth, man. So whatever his name is, man, I'm gonna serve.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. You can't put the Most High's name in a box. Period. You just can't limit it.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Mama called Jesus. I'm called Jesus.
I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
Roll in and get dropped off. This where the culture pops off. He's so elite, called Texas Pete. This what we call that hot sauce. Forsake me not, remember me. Your love like drugs, I'm high up. That's glory and all line up. My cup runneth over, it's topped off. Abba. What? Better than zeros and commas. What? Father. Heaven on earth, you the author. Sinners, better stop it. When the floor get hot, that's lava. Nah. You don't really want that drama. That's so cute, y'all psyched up. Screaming dads get hyped up. Just when you think you got the link, your plans all screwed and chopped up. No prophecy is like a key to the God we shock and all of. When it all builds up and believe you see he's gone.
I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
I cannot put him in a box. Yeah, you better fall in line. That's where delivery stops. Yeah, fight over package like mine. What you selling, I cannot shop. Yeah, he the real thing, no discount. How you put the tablets in the wristwatch? TikTok. He gon' make it dance sideline like a mascot. How you put the bounds on the balance, astounding. The circle of thought removed from surroundings. Keeping the base everlasting, the bounding. Trying to catch wind, your box in the spirit. When I call wind up every eye repented. I'ma never stand in the box, hand over here, leg over there. You twisted the fences. I'ma say it same with fight. Higher. I'ma hug my brothers and sisters on you. Who up? Father made the fire. A heart, yeah. Zoom in. I'm trying to tell them all. You know what you're doing. Gather ye steps together. In the spirit, it ain't a wall that we won't be clearing. Y'all had my back against the wall. I had such a claustrophobia. I'm not ashamed to love all of y'all.
I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh, I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will. Don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will. You can't put him in the box. He's so merciful. merciful. We gon' slowly take this higher, going higher than crescendo. Time is getting shorter and it's closing like a window. Shout out to my melanated Israelite people. But we gotta repent, we can't be out here acting single. Who would have thought? Our Father in heaven, he holding the fort. Don't play with Yahusha, cause he coming back with the sword. He's got so many names, you can put him in a box. He's the highest, and he got it. I'm gonna say his name, Yahuwah. I am not ashamed. Yeah, I am who I am. He's a higher, magnify his name. Ooh. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so wonderful. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's my counselor. I will, don't put him in the box. He's so marvelous. I will, you can't put him in the box. He's so merciful.
What I love about this assembly is that they don't put the Most High in a box. No, sir. You know, a lot of people, they limit him. Some say Yahuwah, some say Yahweh, some say God. But his characteristic, he's everything. He's going to be potent. He's omniscient. How can you put something like that in a box?